Welcome to Roll, Ponder, and Play, a podcast dedicated to crafting stories through the application of role-playing game engines, combined with creative thinking and propelled into the ether by the barest of prompts. I'm Jared Hess, taking on all the roles of Game Master, Solo Player, Author, and Narrator. Come with me on a journey, and together let us explore realms of shadow, danger, and wonder. One role can decide the fate of many things. Welcome to Flight of the Oracle, a new sci-fi podcast written and narrated by me, Jared Hess. And if my voice sounds a little bit low in this episode, it is because I was getting over bronchitis when I recorded it and had a naturally low register. I mean, I have a naturally low register, but lower than that. Enjoy. Alright, I thought I would take a break from all the fantasy ironsworn I've been doing and dip my toes into sci-fi podcasting. This is going to be recorded from a series of episodes that I ran back in 2018 and 2019 called The Oracle, which in this audio podcast form I will be renaming as Flight of the Oracle. This is a military sci-fi podcast, and I guess this is the session 0, so let's talk about the setting, the system, and the character. So first, the setting. I've always loved Jack Campbell's military sci-fi books, so I'm loosely borrowing from that. It's not his exact setting, of course, and some things are different because I can't remember everything, but it's a rough approximation, maybe in an alternate universe, around the same time period of maybe his Genesis Fleet series. So colonies are going far and wide with lots of exploration, and the farther away from Earth, the less oversight there is. There are jump drives, but no hyperdrives. This means ships will have to get to an established jump point in a star system for the jump engines on the ship to take them to another system. The jump points are bidirectional, meaning they're like tubes that connect system to system. All other speeds in planetary systems are done at sublight speeds. There is no teleportation, there's no cloaking, at least not known to humans, and this is where human space travel is currently at for this setting. So a disclaimer, I'm not much of a sci-fi writer, and I've never been in the military. While I do enjoy military sci-fi and military tactics games, this will still be a bit of a challenge for me. I also don't know a whole lot about science, so you're going to have to voluntarily suspend your disbelief in major ways. But what the heck, it's all for fun, and it's mainly for me anyway. The RPG system. I'll be trying out the One Dice system, specifically the Space Sourcebook. One Dice was on sale via PDF on a bundle of holding recently when I originally wrote this back in 2018, and I snagged a copy back then. And it seems like a fast system, and I like fast systems, but then nothing is quite as fast as just using the buttons on the play screen on rpgsolo.com and asking questions. I might switch to something else if One Dice isn't my cup of tea. The very basic mechanics of this system are fairly standard, where you add your attribute to your skill, and then you roll a 1d6 and add that on top, and you're trying to beat a test number, or a TN, to determine how much or how well you succeed at something. My character. I'm playing Ardelle Leath, Leath. Ardelle is with the Space Navy, and over the last 5 years she's gone through basic training and officer school, but this is her first real mission. She is attached to an exploration vessel called the Oracle. She works closely with the captain and the bridge as an assistant to the science officer. She often takes the science station on the bridge. She is a member of the backup bridge crew, not the main crew. Here are her statistics. Ardelle Leath. Strong, 2. Quick, 2. Clever, 2. Those are the main attributes. And then she has health 6, defense 6, move 20. And then her skills are science 1, research 1, lore 1, shooting 1, sneak 1, analysis 1, and she has 6 stunt points. The ship. Our vessel is the Oracle. The Oracle is a large exploration spacecraft with enough crew quarters to house up to 120 people and enough food and supplies to last for several months in the great dark of space. The Oracle has a designation of UASN Oracle. That is the black lettering that you would see as a slow pan of a camera moves across the ship's hull with spotlights as it's in space dock. UASN stands for United Alliance Space Navy. That is my own acronym, but I think it works. It is a large exploration spaceship converted from a military vessel, specifically a warrior-class destroyer. So I looked up the large exploration spaceship inside the space module, and basically the stats are nearly identical to that. There are a couple of modifications, and I'll tell those at the end. Okay, it has a strength 9, quick 8, health of 28, defense 11, movement 5, jump ability --4, cargo capacity 100, crew optimum number 12, skeleton, and 120 for a full complement. Size large, LV is basic/E. WP are its weapons. It has 6 conventional torpedoes and a conventional weapons array and 2 military shuttles. So there's nothing terribly out of the ordinary with this space vessel. The main modifications are that its hull is a bit stronger than the actual large exploration spacecraft. It has a +3 hull, giving it a 28 total. And instead of some fighter craft, it has 2 military shuttles. Everything else is the same as the large exploration spaceship, but fictionally it is a converted military vessel with some souped-up engines. Narratively, that just means it's going to be hard to keep up with if it chooses to move or flee at top speed. Mechanically, the quick attribute I will keep at 8, because from what I can tell, the quick attribute means more than just speed. It's actually more agility and dexterity, I think. The LV statistic of basic/E that we mentioned earlier just means that its technology level is a basic technology level. It doesn't have any advanced or unusual alien systems or anything like that. It's just a basic military vessel. And the E means it is during the age of exploitation. That is a designation used by the space module of 1 dice, which is when humans are exploring the stars and colonizing. The Oracle has just exited a jump point. Jump points are areas where the space-time continuum is particularly thin, allowing for jump drives to activate. Jump points tie only to one other jump point. Let's find out why Ardelle is attached to this vessel. On RPGsolo.com, I used the get action and get subject, and I got change/fame. It sounds like life was going nowhere for Ardelle Leath. She was in a dead-end Navy job that involved only theory and not a lot of real-life research, when a military science and exploration vessel named the Oracle put out posts seeking applicants. She put in for a transfer and was accepted on board as a junior officer. She's pretty fresh in the Space Navy, though, only an ensign, but she's anxious to prove herself and wants to get a ship of her own someday to sail the stars. Is the vessel in good shape when it leaves jump space? I think that is likely. And I get a roll of a 9, which is a yes. Did Ardelle leave family behind? I think that's 50-50. A roll of 8 is yes. Does she have siblings? Again, 50-50 chance. A roll of 5, no, but. So I think that means that she's an only child, but has some nieces and nephews that she treats as younger siblings. I'll say Ardelle is in her early 20s. And on a scale of 1 to 100, what's my appearance, with 100 being among the supermodels and most loverly of peoples? I rolled a 95. Okay, wow. So one dice doesn't have a stat for charisma or appearance, so that's why I asked about that. I guess she's pretty darn good looking. And that could cause problems when you stand out like that. We will see. Interestingly, this could also explain the change/fame answer above. Perhaps she was a supermodel status and needed a reality check, and so joined the military. Sure, why not? Appearance. What else about her appearance? I think she's muscular, toned. She's, been in the military. Keep them in shape. She has green eyes, shoulder-length reddish-brown hair, tied in a ponytail, usually. And of course, she's beautiful. Does she have a boyfriend back home? I think that is somewhat likely. And we get a yes and. And it's progressed more than just boyfriend status. I think it's getting serious. Are they engaged? 50-50 chance. And a 6 is a yes, but. Yes, but there's no formal date. The idiot has cold feet. Men these days. Let's give him a name. His name is Justin Stevens, in case it matters. And here we go. This wraps up our session 0. The next episode will be our actual very first episode 1 of this new podcast called Flight of the Oracle. Thank you for joining us, and I sincerely hope you enjoyed what you experienced. If you would like to support Roll, Ponder, and Play, you can do so by joining my Patreon at patreon.com/Roll, Ponder, and Play. There you can also find transcripts, show notes, and other projects I'm involved in. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me on Patreon or on Discord at Roll, Ponder, and Play, or by email at rollponderandplay@gmail.com. Until we meet again, may your own dice rolls ever bring you success.